Many fans will do all sorts of crazy and extreme lengths they can to meet their idols. And too often, fans cross lines and act inappropriately, invading their idol's privacy in a disturbingly large variety of ways. Today, the Veer side will share with you how the Japanese stalker zooms in on his idol's eye to find where she lived, went there to molest her. Matsuoka, 21, is a leading member of the Japanese idol group band Tensei. She is the perfect combination of beauty and vitality. Every expression and movement is captivating. Like many J-pop girl idol groups in Japan, this small group focuses on girlish cuteness and energy, and has managed to attract the adoration of a large number of male fans. She often posts selfies and likes to update her fans on her day and how she has been, but one fan took it way too far. In September 2019, a mediocre Japanese otaku made a big splash on the internet and sent himself to jail. Hibiki Sato, a 26-year-old man, is among the many male fans, and he is very fond of Matsuoka, who often stands in the C-suite and has a lovely smile. Although he doesn't have a job or an income, Hibiki will buy albums, visits forums, goes to concerts, and gives money to his idol as a matter of necessity. Under every Twitter, he would leave a message. At the beginning, the messages are something like, "Good job on the show today. The dress was lovely. Please continue to cheer me up more in the future," and so on. Matsuoka also replied to Hibiki once, which makes him think he looks like a close boyfriend of her. But the truth is that Matsuoka is not related to him at all, and she doesn't even know who he is. Not sure if it was his over-imagination or if he simply couldn't resist his own beastly desires. As he saw his idol more and more from a distance, watching her perfection on the stage and on the screen, Hibiki Sato's obsession with stargazing over the keyboard was no longer enough to satisfy his desires. He wanted to get more personal with his idol. So he decided to enter Matsuoka's private life and get up close and personal with his idol, even at the cost of hurting her and committing crimes. Hibiki Sato looked at everything her idol was doing to see if she could find a clue to break the ice. Finally, in one of Matsuoka's selfies, this hyper-observant fan saw a breakthrough. He zoomed in on Matsuoka's eye several times, and from the reflection of the buildings in Matsuoka's eyeballs, he had initially identified the surroundings where Matsuoka had taken her selfie. Using Google Map powerful Street View feature, after searching and comparing, he found the exact address, a bus stop in front of Matsuoka's house. It was then that the horror began to unfold in real life. On the 1st of September 2019, around 11 p.m., Matsuoka, who had just returned from a performance, returned to her flat alone at night to prepare for a live interaction with her fans. After passing the bus stop in front of her door, she reached the automatic door of the apartment building. She was about to open the door when a man covered her mouth with a towel from behind and dragged her forcefully to a dark corner. Throughout this process, Matsuoka was too weak to fight back and could only tell the person was a man who kept on molesting her with his hands. Matsuoka instinctively fought back, and in the physical conflict, they both fell to the ground. At that point, Hibiki Sato was still molesting her recklessly and losing his control over Matsuoka. It was only after Matsuoka screamed for help that he reluctantly fled, and then that this horrific molestation did not turn into a tragic sexual assault. In the process of breaking free, however, Matsuoka injured her cheek, and her idol career had to be temporarily halted, and she announced that she would have to undergo a long period of recuperation, and this new startup girl group took a hit. But it was the psychological impact this perverted male fan had left on her that caused her the most damage. After all, the young girl was almost sexually assaulted outside her home in the middle of the night by one of the male fans she faces every day. How can she feel safe performing in front of them, and how to assure that her personal safety can be guaranteed at all times? And on September 17, half a month after the incident, Hibiki Sato was finally arrested by the police, but his reaction did not show the slightest hint of regret or remorse, even if the idol had been forced to halt her career. After his arrest, he confessed that he was a huge fan of Matsuoka and that he had committed the molestation of Matsuoka. He also revealed his whole high-tech crime process, telling the police that not only did he analyze where Matsuoka lived from that selfie, but in other photos, he also figured out the floor she lived on, based on the curtains, windows, and the angle of the sunbeam in Matsuoka's eyes. This case has sent chills down the backs of countless netizens. The actual fact is that people are able to find out your address and even which floors you lived on without having to leave the house, just sit at home and look through your photos. What I want to say is that in this case, this kind of crazy obsessive fan behavior is also increasingly popular nowadays. illegally acquiring an idol's flight and hotel itinerary, waiting for him at the airport, tailing him at the hotel, and even renting a car to tail him is now an important part of the seisen culture. The fans who do so are known as seisenjis, private life intruding fans. Cases like fan following celebrity in a car who is taking their parents on a trip and has no way to get rid of the stalkers because they are new to the game and have to stop and helplessly tweet for help. Stealing clothes worn and used by idols, especially extremely personal items like underwear and socks, and even putting them up for public sale online. Breaking into weddings and stages just to get up close and personal with their idols, regardless of their families and careers. Or breaking into an idol's house, using their bathroom when no one is around, or seeing an idol at home and just jumping on them. Now, I can understand why celebrities are willing to hire and bring so many bodyguards when they go out because danger can happen at any time. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. You are now watching the viewer side, and I will see you on the other side.